So this technology has actually brought a lot of innovations to every field of endeavors. When you look at education, you see technology in education, even in agric. And today we want to look at impact of technology on agriculture. And you see robots working with agric. You see robots being used, drones, to measure the farmland. You see temperature and moisture sensors that the farmers are using these days. You see GPS for monitoring and a number of other devices. And that is why we want to look at the impact of technology on agriculture. You are welcome to Techbridge. My name is Toyin Lagoke. And like we normally do, we bring the experts to come and analyze what the technology is doing in all these endeavors in different fields. And if you look at agriculture generally, people think it's for poor people, it's meant for villagers, it's meant for uneducated. But in advanced world, you see people making more research. Even in Nigeria, agriculture is taking shape, just like technologies are taking shape. And the experts will be talking about the marriage of this technology with agric and what we can do, the benefit therein, the tools we can use, and a number of other things. But I need to quickly go on short break, after which we'll be diving deeply into this topic.
Hello everyone, my name is Gerald Omaze. I'm an ICT personnel. You are watching Techbridge on Lagos Television.
Hi, my name is Sylvia Odeme. I am a data analyst. Keep watching Techbridge on Lagos Television.
You are welcome back from that short break. And, the marriage of technology and any other field, education, health, agriculture, always produce something great. The innovations around the world of technology is actually affecting positively the entire field. And today we have a special guest. We have a guest, let me put it that way, because he's an IT guy. He's been on this show before and is here to expatiate on the impact of technology on agriculture. So I welcome Tochukwu Egesi, an IT expert. Tochukwu, you are welcome to this platform.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me again, and I'm glad to be here.
Fantastic. Okay, so let's quickly look at the impact of technology on agriculture, and let us see how this has been helping this field, because everybody and anybody need food. So when we talk about agriculture, agriculture is not just for villagers, it's not just for uneducated, it's actually a major hub and an economic hub, helping people out and also providing food on our table. So what is the impact of technology on agriculture?
That's a very great question. And I'll just start by saying that food security is one of the biggest problems facing the world today. And we're in a country where over 80% of our farmers are smallholder farmers. So there is an intense need to support the smallholder farmers and overall the farmers that we have in Nigeria today. And as you know, in the last 2 years, I've been working at the intersection of digital economy and financial services. And we have now seen agriculture and technology sort of play a hand-woven role to scale the ability of the smallholder farmers and overall the farmers that we have in Nigeria. And to be more specific, technology solves what I call the access problem in agriculture. And what are those access problems? The first one is access to services. And such services could include financial services. Such services could include insurance services. And I'll tell you this, right? A lot of smallholder farmers lose their farm produce to flooding, to natural disasters that could avoid them, right? So technology is solving that access to services problem. So we'll get deeper into that as we go ahead. The second point is access to market. So farmers are able to farm, but they don't have access to off-takers or access to the market to buy out the product. That's a big problem. Technology is also solving the last problem, which is access to assets. So farmers don't have access to greenhouse farms or even as little as tractors, and that is a big problem that is, sort of disabling that sector from growing to the point where onto the potential where it's supposed to be today. And it is so sad to know that less than 50% of our arable land is currently being cultivated. Less than 50%. So there's a huge growth opportunity, but that growth opportunity can only be unlocked, with the use of technology.
Oh, That's great. And you have actually told us what the technology is doing to empower small, medium enterprise or low level. But there are something they call mechanized farming. And these days you see robot being used in form of a drone to measure the area. You have things like moisture and temperature sensors. You have GPS and area image, and a number of other things. Can you just expatiate how these sophisticated instruments or equipment or even the devices, the technological devices are being used in the mechanized farming these days?
Well, thanks for that question. And maybe before I answer it, I'd like to say that there are startups and technology companies in Nigeria just addressing the problem you just described right now. Some of those companies would include its drone or even Hello Tractor. And what they are doing, as you said, is to use imaging technology, right, to sort of speculate for diseases before it's killed. So just by imaging technology to look at a leaf, you can as well know that okay, this particular disease has hit this section of the farm, and it automatically alerts the farmer via SMS that this is the situation in the farm, and this XXX is what you can do, right, to resolve that problem. So what they can do, they're able to do by using drone technology to roll back across these farms. So when you have large expansive farms, so when you go to the northern part of Nigeria, like the whole area could be dedicated to tomato farming, right? So if you've got a drone technology around that area that can image or capture images of the leaves or the farmland, then it uses that information to sort of check what are the potential diseases that may have attacked that farm or potentially affect that farm, and to send that information to the farm owner and other stakeholders that are connected to that farm. In terms of mechanization, we see Hello Tractor, make it possible for farmers to access tractors and other farming implements, but without having to own it. So it is that shared technology, that shared economy that makes it very interesting. So a farmer does not need to own the tractor in order to use it. And a few months ago, I was in the north, where on that trip I went to a number of farmlands, and I saw a farmer. They have what they call a farmer service center manager. So he has an iPad that a particular agricultural technology company gave him, right? So with that, he takes data on farmers that needs to use a tractor or use another service or use a greenhouse farm. And when the number is large enough, the agricultural technology company shows up with the equipment and mechanized farming tools that all of them in that community can use. I think that is where the sector is heading to at this point.
Well, I'm so happy that these days you see farmers, or well, I call it people in agriculture, using devices even to enhance their values as well. But when it comes to research, some farmers and stakeholders in agriculture, some of them don't really believe so much in research, especially in this part of the world. What do you think we can do to encourage our farmers to use more technological devices and to be interested in researches? Now, I'm just trying to divide this. One is for farmer, another one is for the researchers, technological people. I'm talking about IT guys who will be interested in making researches or research into agriculture. For example, I may want to find out how to do hybrid of any kind of product or any kind of crops or any kind of, but my point is, let's look at the farmer first. What can interest them to be more involved when it comes to sophistication of IT with their agricultural activities and operations? Then we can now look at the IT expert also. Let's look at the farmer first. What can we do to encourage them?
Yes, I have first of this landscape, and I'll tell you what would don't thrive without research. We have seen in the north and in other parts of Nigeria as well, but at least having in the north to talk to farmers and engage with them, right? A farmer has told me that he used to farm in a certain plot of land, and he would get, say, like 12 baskets of tomatoes. But when he started using improved seedlings, and this is as just improved seedlings of tomato, he had, multiples of that same basket, the hundreds of it, in the tens of it, and he was able to make more money from the same parcel of land. And he was not just able to harvest at once, he harvested multiple times from the same parcel of land. So with improved seedlings, farmers would earn more income, and they would also be less exposed to natural disasters that are caused by insects and all. So in terms of research, farmers can't do without it, but what the sector needs to do, or what service providers need to do, or what the government holders they need to do, is to increase awareness. A certain survey was just conducted, and less than 30% of MSMEs out there are aware of any government initiative, are aware of any government support program. So it's extremely important. It's extremely important that awareness becomes the key thing, because the technology is there. The companies that are doing this are there. The agricultural research institutes are there. We have a lot of them. We have at least 2 to 3 agricultural-focused universities in Nigeria.
Wow. It's getting interesting, because I know when you need to motivate these stakeholders, they need to create awareness. And somebody told us that the only thing that is constant is actually change. So people need to change with the tide of things. So we are advocating from this platform that the farmers, the stakeholders in agriculture should actually be interested in knowing at least a bit of technology, be interested in researches that people are carrying out, because when it comes to harvest, there's a way, there are technological things that can help them to have a very productive life. Now, let's look at the IT guys. When I say IT guys, I don't necessarily mean software guys. I'm talking about technology guys. What are the things they've done, and what are the things they're proposing to do? Because I know technology is always involving improving things and helping things out. One major thing that everybody knows these days is this drone, which is robotic in nature, that can fly all over. But there are some other things, like we've mentioned, GPS. But are there things in terms of researches that the technology guys are doing when it comes to maybe storing the produce, when it comes to import and export, how to preserve the life of those things, or livestock? Because agriculture has so many branches. As you have the livestock aspect, you have some other aspects. Even the clothes we wear is agriculture. The books we read is agriculture in nature, because they get all those things from trees. So what are the technological guys or technology guys doing when it comes to researches to improve the agriculture sector?
Well, thank you very much for that question. I think it would have been extremely important that we started this conversation from the value chain, the agricultural value chain. So we see in agriculture, we've got the input stage. And after that, you have the production stage, which is more like the core farming. So input would be things like seedlings and all. You've got the core farming activity. From there, you have the initial or primary processing. And then after that, you have the main processing stage. And after that, you've got the distant and lateral stage. And across this value chain, a number of technology companies are playing, in depth in this value chain. And maybe just to throw the numbers at you a little bit, a company like FarmCrowd is operating at the input stage. They've got over 430,000 farmers that they are supporting today. If you take a few steps forward and then go into the primary processing stage, which you had mentioned in your question as well, a company like FX is playing there. They've got over 160,000 farmers in their value chain, that particular node of the value chain. So there are different companies, different IT companies playing across the value chain, and it's really, really, really important that they interface with research. But all of what they do is continuous improvement from what they're learning from their existing customers. But one key thing would encourage them to do more. And that is to, I'll put it this way, is access to market, right? And that access to market would then be access to the farmers. So there are certain places that I would describe as hard to reach, so it's definitely difficult to do, to go into Castilla now, because there's only one flight there. There are 2 flights there in a week. One goes in on Monday and leaves on Thursday, something like that. So there are difficulties in accessing key farming communities in Nigeria. So if that problem, that bottleneck can be removed, then this, fintech, agtechs and other companies playing in this sector can easily access the market. We also have the era of regulatory issues, government support that needs to come out clean. The government needs to be very clear on their support for agricultural technology companies. So if you check the new Finance Act, right, the Finance Act states that players in agriculture may be considered as pioneer product companies, which would exempt them from tax. But that makes it on a case-by-case basis. So if the government wants to classify agricultural technology companies or agricultural companies as pioneer companies, then it has to be clear without the word may, so that they can assess the benefits that is attributable to them for that in the Finance Act. So 1, we need government support. 2, we need increased access to the farmers, because the literacy level is not so high. And when I went to the north, I had to go with a translator, when engaging with the farmers. So
The
I had to go
translator.
with a translator in order to speak to them.
That's also part of technology. Yeah, the translator is a part of technology. Go ahead.
Yeah, so the literacy level is not there, not so high. So you need translators and all of that. And the model that I've seen that really worked well in the north is a farmer service center. So some companies, some agricultural technology companies, from input to distribution stage, have now built small farmer service centers in major communities across the north. And what they now do, combined, they hire a farmer service center manager that has literacy capabilities and can use a mobile phone or a tablet. And they use that to communicate and manage the farmers within that community. So if the government can replicate this model across the country, and these are just small pockets of farmer service centers, recruit a head farmer as the farmer service center manager to support that community, and that person is paid, then all the technology companies will then have access to those farmer service centers that will support communities across the country, because access is the problem.
Okay, I think I hear you loud and clear. Access, and stakeholder engagement, advocacy. I could hear all those things loud and clear. But the platform here is actually to empower all the stakeholders, the farmers, the technology, the government, and even people that are watching. So thank you for coming on this platform today. The last question I would have loved to ask, and I want you to answer it briefly, is what are the benefits of using technology in any agricultural operations? Just make it brief.
Yeah, I mean, again, it comes back to, thanks for having me again, and to answer the last question, the benefit comes back to access. So when we use technology in agriculture services, we eventually everyone gets access to services, which could include access to credit, access to insurance, access to other services that are available out there. The second one is access to assets. So farmers and even asset companies will be able to sell their services to farmers, and farmers can be able to access the services. And the last one would be...
Go ahead, just go ahead, because I know there are so many benefits. Yeah, just go ahead. Yep, we could hear you.
Okay, and the last one would be access to market. And that is probably the most important one, because you see all of across the value chain, from input to the last stage is distribution. You know,
Okay.
and in that distribution stage,
All right.
every minute counts.
Tochukwu, I actually heard everything you've said. Access to this, access to that, access to everything. So thank you for coming on this platform, because I know for agricultural produce, making use of technology, it helps that business to be more profitable. It's provided environmental friendliness. It provides a safer operations. It provides big bumper harvest even to the farmer, and the economy of the nation or of the state get greater value from this. Thank you for coming on the platform. So we need to quickly go on short break, after which we'll be rounding up things. Yeah, welcome back from that break. And Tochukwu Egesi has actually mentioned a lot when it comes to access, when it comes to advocacy, when it comes to what the farmers are doing and what the technology guys are doing. Technology is not just one leg. It's actually affecting all other sectors, including agriculture, and that is why we've done this today. We want more food on our tables. We want the economy to be boosted. We want a friendly environment. We want farmers to do well, and that is why they need to be lectured. There needs to be advocacy. There needs to be engagement. And like I used to say, technology is empowerment. It helps. It's no more future, but it is now. So you need to get a bit of technology. Thank you for joining us on this show today. And at every 1:30 on Tuesdays, we do this on Techbridge at Lagos Television. And I will love you and want you to always check out our social media handles. That is Techbridge LTV. And also, when you look at our YouTube, you see Techbridge LTV. Thank you for joining us today. I need to go. Join us next week, and we'll do the same thing. Bye.